Hey guys, feeling a little bit under the weather today, and it's got me in kind of a weird mood. But we have a hurricane at this point aimed straight at our face that should be here in about a day or so. So if we're gonna get a video done this week, this is the only time we can do it. So we had an idea. One of my favorite projects is to put a white powder or interference HyperShift over a white base. The effect that comes out is just so beautiful every time. And we wanted to do that this project, but I kind of want to kick it up a notch. I want to see what happens when you break the golden rule of interference pearls, meaning you always want to make sure you don't put too much interference pearl on top because weird things start happening. It starts whiting out or yellowing out. You start losing the base underneath. It gets all haywire. So we're going to push the boundaries and go overboard. Now, when it came down to choosing the interference HyperShift for this project, this is where Gabe and I didn't exactly see eye to eye. I wanted to use ZGP HyperShift because I think it's just so cool. Gabe's problem with this, correct me if I'm wrong, he's very concerned because you can never put a powder that's darker than the base over your base color, right? So we can't put a blue opaque pearl over a white base, it'll just look like dirt. This is not a traditional interference HyperShift because clearly the powder is not white. Let me show you. The powder is like purple. But my argument is that when you take the powder and look at it over, a different base, my finger for example, it starts taking on a bunch of different colors. So we're gonna run with it. We're gonna do ZGP over a white base, and we are going to overload the pearl. Normally with something like this, we go with a 5 gram per gallon load, max like a 12.5 gram per gallon load, and this time we're going with 25. So not only are we going with the darkest powder interference HyperShift we've ever seen, but we're gonna put way too much pearl as well. What could possibly go wrong? Starting with glossy dip pearl top coat, and then here's 25 grams of the ZGP. Now you'll start to see, hopefully, why I think this might work as we start to blend it. Because it doesn't just look purple, if my memory serves correct. You start seeing those gold and greens and blues start coming out. Now, as I mix, I realize it's still pretty darn purple. Gabe's smiling and shaking his head. This may be the first time that Gabe and I haven't seen eye to eye on a project, that as the project is evolving, I'm kind of starting to second guess myself here. But like I said, what's the worst that can go wrong? Maybe the stick of truth will back me up. Show you guys what I think may happen. So over a black base, you don't see the purple anymore. You start to see other stuff. Like, I don't know. What do you see? Gold and greenish, kinda? It doesn't matter. We already mixed it up. The S4 is here with a white base, so there's no turning back now. Let's go. All right, guys, we are all done with the project. And I will say, first and foremost, Gabe was right and I was wrong. The pearl was definitely not a traditional interference pearl. It was straight up purple. The second we put that first coat down, I literally said, oh no, because I knew we were in for a long day. And we had two choices at that point. We could either completely gut and reformat the entire video, or we can just push through. And the only win pushing through is if we stack enough coats of this pearl to try to get some kind of solid, even coverage. I don't know if you've ever tried putting a darker pearl over a lighter base like white, but it is an absolute nightmare. 7 coats later, we got it about as good as we were gonna get it. I'm ready for a nap. We're gonna take it outside and I want you to check it out. Keep in mind, this is not how this pearl is supposed to be used, but you may end up liking the end result. If you want to dip your own car, click right up here. We have a ton of kits to choose from, everything to help you dip your emblems, your wheels, and your whole car. Even though I'm sick and this video or this project went completely haywire, I still had a ton of fun doing it. First time ever that, not the first time Gabe's been right, of course, but the first time ever that we had a disagreement about how a project's gonna turn out, and he was 100% on point, and I was completely off base. I hope you had fun watching this video. I definitely had fun making it. I'll see you guys on the next one.